Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to 3303. This is where I talk about the news and happenings in and around Elite Dangerous. Today we talk about a massive share buyout of Frontier Developments by Chinese publisher Tencent. Frontier Developments are getting a new headquarters. There's the upcoming Frontier Expo 2017, and a player group has managed to take over a permit-locked federation system. On the 28th of July, it was announced that Chinese gaming company Tencent purchased a massive 9% of newly issued Frontier Development shares in a deal worth $23 million. After this news, the share value of Frontier Developments made a significant jump and now stands at 635 pence per share, bringing the total market cap of Frontier Developments to £209 million or $274 million. Now, Frontier have stated that they're going to use the newly found cash to inject into existing projects as well as future ones. Now, currently, Frontier work on Planet Coaster as well as Elite Dangerous, and there is another so far unannounced project which they're going to disclose in October. But it would seem that this news suggests that Frontier intend on continuing developing new properties. And as a publisher, this makes complete sense for the company. There is some confusion, however, over where this leaves Frontier Developments as well as company boss David Braben in terms of controlling shares. Now, before the deal, Braben owned 51% of the company, but some people have pointed out that the newly issued shares dilute Braben's majority down to just over 45%. However, Frontier Community Manager Edward Lewis has stated that Braben still owns the majority of the company. So it's a little difficult to know exactly what's gone in those regards, and it's quite possible that Tencent might have purchased non-voting shares. Either way though, Frontier are doing tremendously well, with cash reserves of nearly $16 million before the deal was made, and their share values having quadrupled over the past 5 years. In other news regarding Frontier's ongoing evolution, they currently have a new headquarters under construction. This is located in Cambridge, England, right nearby to their existing site, but as you can see, this is a very large building indeed. Now, as far as I'm aware, they haven't yet announced when they intend to move into the new building or when it's going to be complete. However, it's clear that this is yet another significant investment for the company. The first ever Frontier Expo is scheduled to take place in London on the 7th of October, and here they're going to make all manner of announcements for their entire game lineup, including and especially Elite Dangerous. Now, of particular interest, Frontier have a presentation to discuss the future of Elite Dangerous going into 2018, and here they're going to reveal the future of the game beyond the patch 2.4. Now, we do know there's fixes coming beyond 2.4, that will be the next major update, a bit of an overhaul and some serious fixes. Beyond that though is a complete mystery. Now, tickets for the Expo are found on their website, and you can see the link in the video description below. Tickets for juniors, that's 7 to 17, are priced at $14.99, and the full price is priced at $39.99. This includes the event itself, and it also includes the after-event party. There was a very interesting snippet of information from David Braben in a recent NeoWin article. Now, the article goes on to quote that David Braben says the next logical step for Elite Dangerous would be to include Planetary Settlements. Now, it's impossible to know exactly what this means, but of course many people have been theorizing about what this could mean, from the idea of planetary bases created by players to the idea of new settlements founded by members of generation ships. Now, this later example seems the most plausible, especially considering what David Braben has been talking about every time he mentions generation ships. It suggested that most of them arrived at their destination, and after all, the entire intent of the generation ships was to create settlements and colonies on planets out there in the depths of space. So just maybe this is something coming sooner rather than later. The potential problem though, of course, remains to be seen whether or not these settlements will be fully interactable, or whether they'll just be places we can go and visit and just get little flavor text like we could from the megaships and the generation ships. Personally, I'd like to see any future content like that have much more gameplay associated with it. At any rate, here's some relatively recently posted concept art by Frontier artist Xavier Henry. Now, these have probably in all likelihood got nothing to do with the settlements that David Braben spoke about, but nonetheless they're very interesting pieces of art. There was a great post in recent days on the official forums by forum user Apos. Now, in this post he talks about Defection, the LHS 2541 Alliance Combine. Now, every day players are working with their minor faction to take over other systems, neighbouring systems, or to trigger other stays. That's nothing particularly new. What's interesting in this particular case, though, is this faction is alliance-backed, and they've actually worked their way into taking over the system ROS 128. Now, this is a particularly impressive feat because this system is heavily versed in the law of Elite Dangerous, and it is a Federation-backed system, a system that requires a Federation permit no less. So, as of now, players who want to access this particular alliance-based system now require a Federation permit. Now, you can see a video below detailing all of this, along with the forum post that I'm actually talking about, and that gives you all the details that you could possibly want to know about it. Now, if this group can keep hold of the system, I'd actually like to see Frontier get involved with the story on this. After all, ROS 128 is a very important system to the Federation, and I really believe that the Federation should react to this. After all, it does affect the gameplay. Many players work hard to get up their Federation rank, and although many of them probably don't really wish or need the ROS 128 permit, it nonetheless is a very valid part of the gameplay mechanics. So it's going to be interesting to see if Frontier actually do anything with this. So let me know below if you'd like to see Frontier take action on this. Do you think they should get the Federation to send in capital ships? Do you think there should be a load of conflict zones set up? Should the Federation perhaps start a little battle in that system with the Alliance? Any ideas? I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure the people behind this action would also love to hear. That then brings us to the end of this episode of 3303. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.